Good morning. It is 9:26 a.m. on what is today? Wednesday, March 8th, 2017. It is the International Day of the Woman or something like that. And so I am wearing red to celebrate women in the tech industry because I am a woman in the tech industry, in case you were unaware of either of those things, the woman thing or the tech industry thing or the red thing. This is actually the only even slightly appropriate for work shirt I have that involves red. All my other red shirts are highly inappropriate. And this one, if you look at it, has like this super deep V, which I'm just gonna lean in there. That's like so not really work appropriate, so I had to stick another shirt underneath it. So it doesn't look as cute as it normally would look. But you know, I don't want to make everybody have to avert their eyes because of the cleavage factor. So yeah, that's why I'm wearing this shirt to work today, because women, we rule. Anyways, what else do I have to say? I wanted to update you on the books I've been reading. I am now on book 7, I believe, of the His Majesty's Dragon series by Naomi something Russian. I'm terrible. But I will link information about those books. They're actually really fabulous. I've been enjoying them rather a lot. And I didn't think that I would, because the main characters are a bit, well, the main male lead is definitely rather fussy, and his dragon can be a bit whiny at times. But I really like the story. I really like how it's working. I like the overall arc. I like everything going on with the Napoleonic Wars. It's really awesome to see how she's changing history by introducing the use of aerial combat so early in history. That did not sound very elegant. Sometimes I'm not so clever, but it's really well done and well written, and I'm enjoying it. And I took a pause on book 7 to start, I think it's Magic for Nothing by, I can't say her name because it's like complicated, but I will definitely link below. It's part of the Encrypted series, and it is fabulous. I'm really loving it. It's set in a carnival, which makes me happy, and I just really like the main character. She's a lot less. In this series, it follows this family of like cryptozoologists who help protect / hunt like monsters. So there's like this world and set up, and they have, all of the fairy tale monsters, but they're real, but they're hiding in plain sight. And there's this society that's bad and evil and just kills them indiscriminately. And then there's this splinter group that doesn't kill them indiscriminately. It only puts them down when they're like a threat to humanity, like a direct threat, like they're killing people sort of thing, and then they'll take them out. Superhero style. And the first couple of books follow the oldest sister, who is like a ballroom dancer and doesn't really want to be a cryptozoologist or whatever. And they're really fun and interesting following her. And then the next couple of books are about her younger brother, who is like a scientist and like totally into reptiles and studies like he only reluctantly goes into the field to fight because he'd rather be, doing breeding programs for basilisks or something, right? Which is interesting, but he wasn't really my cup of tea. I didn't really like his stories were okay, but they were kind of blah, and I didn't like his romantic lead. I thought she was a bit annoying, and her family was really overdone in the second of his books. And this one that I'm currently reading is the first one featuring the youngest sister, and I like her best of all. She's really kick-ass circus performer, roller derby girl, and I like her, which is not what I was expecting, because like in the other books, her older sister and her older brother are both like really down on her, and she comes off as really petulant and whiny from their point of view, but in her own book, she's stunning, and I like her way better than I like her brother and her sister, which I was not anticipating. So, yay. And I'm still reading 1Q84 by an author who I should be able to say the name of, but I can't because it's Japanese. Today is like all the fell on author names. I'm sorry. But it's really good and complex and complicated, and of course everything he writes is so, you have to pay attention to every single detail because it becomes relevant as the story progresses. And also, wow, he's like super highly sexual. So I was listening to the audio version of it at work, and it was going into this detailed description of this girl's first lesbian encounter. Like, I felt really awkward and uncomfortable to be listening to that level of detail while at work. And it also read a little false because it's definitely a male perspective of females exploring each other, which is not exactly the same as, like, what actually happens in those sorts of situations. But whatevs, it was well done. It wasn't like he was definitely over eroticizing it, and it was like flashing into her head as she was climbing down a stairwell, which didn't make any sense, but I know he's a brilliant author, and it always comes back and makes sense later, so I'm just waiting for that to happen, I guess. Anyway, still reading that. I'm reading a bunch of books. I have read 33 books so far this year, on target for my goal of 200 books. Fingers crossed that I actually make 200 books, because I never do. I always, like, kind of peter out about midway through the year, like start all gangbusters, and I'm like, gonna do this, and about like summertime, I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna go to the beach. And then in the fall, I renew my efforts, and I always come scraggling in at like 160, and I'm always like, I could make the 200, I could, but I never do. But this year is my year. Sure. For surezies. For realsies. This year. 200 books. Doing it. What else do I have to say to you all? Nothing much else interesting is happening in my life right now. I started watching Legion. I watched the first episode yesterday. It was rather confusing. I'm gonna watch the next 3 out tonight, I believe. I'm watching them because my Irish gentleman said that it was actually really rather well done. So I'm going to give it a shot. I was not particularly intrigued by the male lead, and his female lead. Their relationship seems very tenuous and very forced, and if the whole point is they're together because they love each other, because they met in a insane asylum and decided to date after running into each other once, I'm kind of like, I mean, I did think it was really cute that he was respecting her boundaries and like walking down the hall with her holding a scrap of fabric so they could be holding hands while not physically touching. But all that kind of got ruined when he kissed her against her will, when she was saying, no, don't kiss me, and he kissed her, and then it turns out they have body swapping powers happening there, which is like a legit reason for someone not to touch you if you don't want to like magically switch places with them. But also, maybe you should just respect your girlfriend's boundaries and not kiss her, especially when she's saying, please don't kiss me, I don't like being touched, please keep your space. Like, so I had a little bit of issues with that. Yeah. Anyway, so I'm watching that, and I will continue to watch it, and I will update you on my thoughts on that once I finish it. And I cried like a baby over the finale of this latest season of Top Chef. Oh my god, I was just like sobbing the entire time while I watched it, and they were being all touching and talking about their families, and I was just like and what else is going on in my life? I am doing the Surely Simple lettering challenge thing that I'm enjoying. I did my March art snacks box, and that was really fun. The picture I produced is pretty okay for the materials I had to use, which was a brown and a white paint, and that was pretty much it, and one angled paintbrush. So yeah, I'm pretty okay with it. I'm pretty happy. And life is good. So I'm gonna sign off now. Peace.